All right. So, isn't it supposed to be one of those casual things where I'm like doing my makeup and I'm chatting and talking on the thing? Oh, look at me. Let me tell you just a little bit about my life. I gotta say, I find those kind of silly because I can barely do one thing at a time. And I love it because that's how I roll. Hey, good morning, PM, or technically good afternoon, at least where I am. Candy Lee and DK Coop. And who else we got here showing up for the Destination Decluttered? Oh, I forgot my stupid things. Katie from India. Gary, Indiana. Gary. Oh my gosh, I am such my parents' child in that I see something that reminds me of a song and I just start singing. Hey, so if we haven't met before, I know it's just a smidge afternoon time, and this is not a usual time where I show up to do TikTok lives, but do I ever do anything usual? No. As Arnold Horshack would say, when you least expect it, expect it. And I just want to say, hey, my name is Beth. I am a Destination Decluttered. I am a decluttering life coach. Now, what does that mean? So I love to help you with your clutter and your stuff because I love to help you declutter not just your home, but your schedule and your brain so that you have peace of mind and a delightful place to live that looks and feels and functions like you want to. Peace of mind, I said that's so paramount. And also that you have space in your calendar, in your daily schedule, to not just do the stuff you have to do, but we make room for this, we make space for the stuff you want to do. Now, I show up and do these TikTok lives. Hello, Nancy. People are tuning in. I do TikTok lives every couple of days or so. You'll find the schedule for those. You'll find the schedules for those on Destination Decluttered, my TikTok page, at right on the front. Like it'll be a pinned post at the top that says Destination Decluttered. TikTok live. I'm sorry, I gotta focus. TikTok live, Destination Decluttered, and I always will do that. The other thing too is if you're on my mailing list, you know that you find out about these things before anything. But anyhow, today for the next hour, I am here for you. I'm here for you as your kind of, if you've never had a decluttering life coach, now you have one for free for an hour. And I don't often do this. This was something that was suggested by some of the folks who regularly show up when I do my TikTok lives. Can we do like a themed, a topical? I've got my list right here, like the categories of a declutter. Bonnie Esther, nice to see you. A category of clutter. So today's category of clutter is clothing. Clothing. Do you have too much clothing? Too many pieces of clothing? Is it hard for you to find what you something that fits your bod, or you're always kind of digging around for stuff? Is it a pain in the butt to put your laundry away? Maybe your body has changed, your lifestyle has changed. Maybe you're not wearing stuff you used to wear back in the day, but you have this kind of thought from the past saying, well, I used to wear it then, but then you look to the future, but I might wear it in the future. But right now, who you are, actually I have my You Are Here shirt on today, is you are here. Are you doing this? Okay, so Leah Quake says, oh my God, I need this. I'm so glad I'm tuned in. You're welcome. I'm glad you tuned in too. And half of mine doesn't fit. Yes, the bottom half, the top half, the front half, the back half. Yeah, you aren't alone. You guys, y'all, we are all, think of it. It's not just you, okay? You may think it's just me. My body's changing. I don't fit into my clothes. Pull the lens out and just notice that all of us are aging. All of us have gone through, we're in kind of an interesting place because we are kind of post-lockdown. But prior to lockdown, we had lives that we never knew there was going to be a lockdown. So we worked at different places. We wore different clothing. We wore different shoes. We wore different pants. We wore different clothes. We did different things. Our bodies were that many years younger. Catherine, aging? No, not me. Well, if you're not aging, you're dying. So I like to think of it. Okay. So just notice where you are in your life is where many of us are. So you're not alone in this. What I love to offer is Be cool with who you are right now. And not enough of what I actually wear, everyday stuff. Anastasia. Okay, notice this. You can decide, starting today, what you keep in your life and what you let go of and you get out of your life. Why keep clothes you don't like? It's probably an unhelpful thought that you have that says, fear. I may need that someday. What if I suddenly have no clothes and I'm forced to wear something I don't like? Right? There you go. The mindset of, but what if I need it in this season or winter? So much outerwear for winter. Okay. Here's the wonderful thing. So I am in Pennsylvania, and we have had an unseasonably warm week this week, which I freaking love. I'm originally from New England, but man, do I love the warm weather when it's cold elsewhere. And what I want to offer to you is we are in like a shoulder season. Like I will say to you right now is, yeah, my middle name is What If. Right now, like I am between wardrobes. I have stuff that I thought it turned cold. I was up in New England a few weekends ago. I was really cold, so I pulled out all my cold stuff. Then we have a hot spell. So I've got like a couple of totes right here that I'm kind of digging into when I need a t-shirt that is short sleeves versus long sleeves. So I get that notion of what if I need it in the season. But notice this thing. Embrace this season. Embrace October. Think about this. Even if you're in a place where the seasons don't change, embrace October as the month where you are going to declutter your previous wardrobe and your future wardrobe. Now, I say that because where I am, the seasons will change. So before I put away items for next year in my kind of warm weather clothes, I will get curious. Everybody, y'all, as what's his face would say, get curious. What didn't you wear in the previous season? Get curious. Why didn't you wear it? Now I say that to you. You ask yourself that, and please, I don't do this all the time. I have to get better at this. Pause and listen for the answer. Now the answer oftentimes is, my body doesn't fit into that. Or, well, you saw my videos that I did a couple of days ago about wearing jeans. Well, technically my body fits into it. However, boy, is it not comfortable when I'm cramming my body in those jeans. And for those of you, thank you for the rose. Yes, menopause does a number on the body. Yeah, it does. But you know what? Here's the funny thing. I did a video about me wearing jeans, and I was like, I'm going to wear them. I wore them, not sure of them. The next day, I put another pair of jeans. Now I have literally taken all those jeans that I forgot I even had. I gave them a shot. They are all now in a donation bag because I was just like, life is too short to wear uncomfortable clothes. Okay, so just notice this. Get curious about, and if you want to take notes, Lake Quake, go for it. I'm all about that. Yay. Oh my gosh, I am feeling so much more comfortable. And I'm just like, you know what, my jeans, everybody, think of your life as a book. You have chapters in your life. You had a bunch of chapters before COVID lockdown. Then you had your COVID lockdown. Then you had your post-COVID. And now we're kind of right here where we're kind of coming out of some of the habits we had from that. And some things are the same. Some things have changed. I think all of us are getting used to being a lot more comfortable physically in our clothing. And so I'm like, why the heck? I was sitting there chatting with a friend, was sitting on her couch, and all I could think of was like, God, these jeans are so uncomfortable. So I fixed it. Kind of like I said in my other video about fixing the wedgies of life. I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to take these off, put them in the wash them, donate them, and I'm going to put on some more comfortable clothes. Right. Anastasia is saying, notice if you have less clothing, you do, it's easier to do laundry more often. Yeah. Here's something I have found both from myself and with the clients that I coach, because I do one-on-one coaching with people over Zoom. And notice this about yourself. Get curious. See if this hits a nerve, or not a nerve, but just as like a resonant, if this resonates with you. That you wear about 20% of your clothing about 80% of the time. That's why you do laundry. But get curious about the clothes you don't wear and why aren't you wearing them, and what is the thought that's keeping you holding on to them. And then the neat thing is, and this is kind of where the lifey coachy training that I've had comes in, is what's a thought that you could use that would help you release those things. Right? Callie Rose, nice to see you. Yeah, trust me, I gotta share. Catherine, fixing the wedgies of life, I thought that was hysterical, and I did a video for it, and it's doing okay. Not that I care about like the numbers and stuff, but I was cracking myself up because notice when those little things bug you, all those little things that bug you introduce an irritation to your life. Every time you wear a piece of clothing that you don't like, that's uncomfortable, that you don't feel comfortable in, that you don't feel like you look good in, that affects your mood. And when your mood is affected, then you in your body, you're not feeling good. I want you to feel good. And you can do that by just cluing into getting to know what your body is now. Not like it was. My body's different. I've got pudgies where there used to not be pudgies. The weight, the number on this thing called the scale is a number I never thought I'd get to, but I'm there. And you know what I'm doing? I'm saying, and that's okay. And that's okay. Because my little, I got a Jen Sincero, calendar here. Be grateful that you get to nourish your one and only beautiful body. Yeah, feeling good comfortably. And it's about feeling good in the pressure on your clothes, the comfort, the movability, how you look, if you feel like you look good, all those types of things. Okay, and so let's get into this. I'm kind of talking right here, but I am here for you. So notice this. Menopause does a number on the body. Yes, our bodies as humans, even if you're a male, no matter what age you are, your body is always changing. Your body changed from ages 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 to 4 to 5. Remember when you went through, I always forget what that's called because it's been so long. When you turned into a teenager, boy, did your body change then. Hair, boobs, whatever. What the hell is all this about, right? Your body changed whether you wanted it to or not. Then you probably spent some decades where it was kind of chugging along doing that. Now I'm on the other end of that where it's like, whoa, this is different. And your body's going to do what your body's going to do. Love your body, you guys. I know this sounds like it's such a revolutionary act because many people benefit monetarily and what's the word I want to use? Like power-wise. When you feel bad about yourself, you are much more easy to control. You are much more vulnerable to people who want to sell you stuff about changing your body. And I just want to say F you to all that and say, you know what? I'm just going to love myself who I am. Ha! Ha! I say. Okay? Maybe that's my ancient punk rock upbringing. Okay? So Anastasia says, I have clothes that I don't like and not enough of what I actually wear everyday stuff. Yes, notice you have categories. Everybody, your human brain wants to categorize. Categorize your clothing. What are the clothes that I'm currently wearing now? And what are the ones that I'm not wearing? And why am I not wearing them? And if the fact is I just don't like them anymore, whatever the reason is, if you don't wear them, donate them to somebody who will. Put them in a place that can get them to somebody who's maybe naked and has no clothes at all. Okay? Notice that. And, oops, I hit the wrong button. Notice that you have a thought in your head. What if I need it? What if I need it someday? That what if I need it someday feeling, well, I want to say it's like a thought that makes you feel a feeling, a feel of lack, of like desperate, like what if I need it? What if I need it? Notice how my hand is clenching. Like, don't give me, I might need that someday, right? That side of the equation is not going to help you get decluttered. What you have to do is recognize that part of you, notice it, calm it down, tell it's okay, and then you say, all right, what about this? How about I don't wear it. Maybe somebody else will. I tell myself a better story in my head that makes me feel better. It makes me easier to release it. Notice that. What else do we have here? Yep. Crockmit says, OMG, spare bedroom turned into a closet full of laundry and what ifs and memories clothing. Yeah. Okay, so you hit a really good point, okay? Memories clothing. Notice how you have clothing. I have t-shirts over there, you guys. I am not immune to this myself. I have t-shirts that I bought that I don't fit into as comfortably anymore, but I keep them thinking I'm either going to change my body, which I'm probably not going to, but also they hold memories. Look, that's a concert that I went to. That's when we decided we were going to invent an imaginary camp, and I made t-shirts. That's a t-shirt I made for like this rocker that my husband worked with. Like different things that have memories, but I'm not using them as clothes. They are memories. I look at them and they remind me of something. They are souvenirs, but they have ceased to become something that I physically cover my body with. That is okay. That is a level of clutter. When I'm talking about all clutter, you've got surface clutter, you've got stored clutter, and you've got, what do you call it? Surface clutter, stored clutter, and sentimental clutter. Sorry, I just got a message and it distracted me. I apologize. And sentimental clutter is stuff that has ceased to be what you actually use it for, and it just sits there reminding you of something. So the neat thing is I could probably take a picture of some of these t-shirts and then more likely donate them. Or actually, where is it? I didn't make anything. I am not crafty. Jesus. I got made one of those t-shirt quilts. Where is it? I made it. I didn't, but see this? It's just like a small one. It's like a 4x4, and it's, stuff. These are the memories. I have it, and when it gets cold in my office, or I just like to feel cozy, I put it on my lap. It's a little black blanket. You can get that done too if you want. Figure out what you're doing. Okay, what do we have? Yep, TikTok share just said make a quilt out of them. Yes. And I will say this. It was kind of fun. I got 2 of them made. I will say this. A couple of things about doing the quilt thing, so you know. There's a company out there that I used called Project Repat. I think it used to be in Fall River, and now it's down in the Carolinas. I almost said irregardless. Can you imagine? Regardless. It was fun to pick out what ones I wanted to save. I got 2 of them made. One is my t-shirts. I got one made for my husband too, because he's a musician, so he has a boatload of t-shirts. And it was fun to do that. I feel like I might even make another one out of some of these other ones. And I like the fact that it's a small quilt because I can use it as a lap blanket, or like if people are over and we want to get cozy, we're watching a movie. Instead of having something I didn't want the big one that could fit on a bed, so they do one that's like a 4x4, so it's like 16 t-shirts. So that's a way that you can do that. And I don't have to wear these things because I wasn't wearing them anyway. I look down and immediately I know the stories of them, and they've turned into a useful thing. And notice that. Yep, look at this. Make it into a quilt. Yeah. Okay, here's an awesome thing. Here we go. All right. Okay, so many good things here. Let me just, I'm backing up right here, just so you know. I'm backing up to make sure. Okay, so notice that folks are saying, yep, the whole room that's my closet. My mother did that. My bedroom back in the house that I grew up in immediately turned into a closet. But the crazy thing is that she barely wears any of the clothes that are in there. She wears the same things over and over again like we all do. Feeling good comfortably. Yep. Here we go. I watched a gal this past weekend, says Catherine, who made that her dressing and self-care room and decked it out. I was impressed. Yeah, do that. But notice, as the declutterer, I'm not a minimalist. Don't worry. But as the declutterer, what I want to offer to you, and I bet anybody here who has a fairly large home or even multiple rooms that you're not using for anything, it is really easy to delay the decision making to declutter when you have room to store stuff. And the thing that's going to happen is that when you do decide you want to declutter, you may have more things than if you just notice the decluttering. Okay? Nurse Anita says, I have a top that's pretty tight around the chest. I remember those days. I still want to wear it, but I adjust a lot. Notice that is a low level of discomfort in your clothes. Notice that when you're wearing it, you can't just exist in the world without having to think about how you look and feel. You're always adjusting it. Oh, it's gaposis, I used to call it, because, these things, I've had them since I was, 11, 12? And when I gained weight, they got even bigger. But notice yourself that you're not quite comfortable. You get out of the moment that you're in because you're like, oh, I gotta adjust my clothing. If you still want to wear it, maybe you wear it a different way. Maybe you get it tailored. I don't know. There's different things, but notice that it isn't making you comfortable. And you deserve to be comfortable, because when you're comfortable in your clothes, when you're comfortable in your life, when you feel good, you can do amazing things because you're not worried about all these little tiny things. Okay? Lee Quaker says, I've been tackling on the weekends an hour at a time. I want the clutter out. Awesome. Clutter clothes out. Love it. Tips on decluttering when your weight fluctuates a lot and you don't want to have to rebuy. Perfect. Yes, I do. I feel like Fat Albert. Here's what I believe. Right now, your body is a certain size. Love it the way it is. Treat it lovely. Dress it nicely. Feel good about whatever shape your body is now. However, if you make the decision that you want to do the things to change your body into a different size, and you have clothing that if your body gets to that size, you could wear those clothes, notice that. What I recommend is all of the clothes, and this is for everybody, all of the clothes that don't currently fit you, but you have this thought, I want to wear this someday, but in order for me to wear it, I'm going to have to change the size of my body. Pull those out of circulation. Get them out of your drawers. Get them out of your closet. Sort them by size. If you have multiples, somebody said they have between sizes 3 and 15. So sort them by size. Organize them. Notice I said categorizing. Your brain loves to categorize. Say, I created 2 categories. Clothing I wear, clothing I don't wear. Clothing I don't wear, but I want to still keep because I might want to wear it someday. And notice that I have a fear, if my weight fluctuates, that I might have to go buy new clothes. Notice that. But work with it and say, okay, I'm going to put these clothes in storage. I'm going to put them in a box. I'm going to label them with a size. I'm going to label them with a date. And then I am possibly going to do those things that I have to do in order to change the size of my body to fit into those clothes. Just notice that and give yourself the opportunity to become the person you think you want to be. I think I want to be a person whose body is a different size than this. And when I become that body, I will have some clothes. Give yourself a chance to do it. Put a due date on it. I'm going to put this stuff away next year, next spring. If I don't fit into these clothes, I will reassess. Maybe I give them away then. But notice that you can also just be happy with who you are right now. So much easier said than done, but so worth it. And maybe just get better clothes. Know that there's somebody out there. Trust that if you lose weight or gain weight, there are clothes out there you can buy that are going to cover your body and you're going to feel good. Okay, yes, the scarcity model. Notice that. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, here we go. Laura says, I plan to make a list of places I can give away stuff and what items go where. Yeah, you can do that. Do that. Find places. When you do this, and actually I meant to do this beforehand, but I was coaching, I was consulting, I was doing all sorts of things. Another thing too is I'm going to do this for myself. Is like, so we did laundry the other day. This is slightly not clothing. But this is still like a laundry thing. Is we were changing the sheets on the bed. And I realized that the way my husband's boy feet are, they tend to, he knows that I'm going to talk about this. They kind of wear away, like it wore away like some of the sheets, so they're worn. So we don't want them anymore, but we also don't want to donate them anywhere because they're going to fall apart. I know where my sister lives in New England. They have a thing called like a textile recycling thing. And I don't know if they have it in my state. So when I get off of this thing, I'm going to literally write down, I'm writing it down now so I do it. Textile recycling. That is for, like, if you have clothing that is just too worn and too ratty, that you maybe still wear it, but you wouldn't want anybody else to, okay? So finding a place that makes it easy and good and simple for you to get the things out of your home. Notice that. There we go. You're done. Look at that. Books, Friends of the Library, clothing, Salvation Army, construction stuff. Boom. I love it. TikTok share is saying, have you ever heard of turning all the hangers around it if you don't wear it in a year? Get rid of them. I've heard of that. I've done it a bit myself. Yeah. Find experiment. You guys have fun. See if that's going to work for you. Yeah, what I noticed, and I've done some TikTok, I've tried to bring you guys along in my journey, because while I am a decluttering life coach and I help people with their clutter one-on-one, doing a coaching program. If you're interested in that, you can get on my email list and all this type of stuff. DestinationDecluttered.com. I'm just making sure that works right now. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. You can get on my mailing list, all that stuff. But I'm also a human being on this planet whose body is aging, and I have aged out of some of the clothes I used to wear. And I'm kind of in this, what do I wear? Who am I? Do I want to become somebody who, shops at Chico's or looks like, one of the Golden Girls? I don't know. So notice that I am bringing you along in my journey. And what I found is there are some things that I was afraid, I was scared to try them on because I was going to feel bad about the fact that my body had changed. Okay? There we go. I love it. I've donated old towels, blankets, sheets to my local animal shelter. Christy, I love that idea. And actually, Crockmit said, what about local school or daycare center as drop cloths for finger painting? Could be. Yeah. And I love it. I actually have some towels in the basement that I know are going to go to a animal shelter. So maybe I'll just put them in that. Thank you for the good idea. Thank you for loving my glasses. I am not one of those. I don't get a spiff from it, but they're those pear glasses. I use them because I really like my other fancier glasses. I broke the sunglasses portion of it, but I have another thing like this and it's sunglasses. I like them. These are okay. They're decent. Okay. So clothing clutter. How can I help you? I want to say this, couple of things. Notice that it's usually stored clutter that's jamming you up. It's making it more difficult. Your clothes that you don't wear are making it more difficult for you to get dressed. They're making it more difficult for you to keep I want to say your bedroom, because that's usually where like your bureau, your dresser, your closets are. It's making it more difficult for you to put away your clothing because there's space that's being taken up by stuff you don't wear. Notice that. I made a sound effect when you popped the frame. I love it. So notice that the clothing you aren't wearing, if it's in the way, it's just jamming you up. It's literally cluttering up. It's getting in the way of the life you want to live. And when I talk to clients and when I do these TikTok lives about clutter, I talk about the fact that, how do you want your home to look? How do you want your home to feel? How do you want to feel when you're in it? How do you want it to function? Now, the functionality with clothing to me is I want to be able to immediately grab something that I know is going to fit me, that I know I'm going to feel and look good in that I can immediately grab it, wear it, launder it, and when it's clean, put it back in the drawer or hang it up without having to jam it in there. Because if there's no room for it because there's stuff hanging out there that I'm not using, then the laundry tends to hang out when I'm not putting it away, as opposed to just opening the drawer, plopping it in. Now, I will say this, I'm definitely not of the, what's her name, Marie Kondo, like here's the perfect way to fold your panties and all that. I have some dividers in my drawer, wicked simple ones. It's like underpants here, socks here, boom, I'm done. I will, if I'm feeling fancy, I'll pair up my socks. And that's because I want it to be simple and easy to get dressed and feel comfortable so I can go off and do things and not be bugged about how I look. And I mean bugged internally, like, oh, this is uncomfortable. I mean, wedgies, bra straps, all that. We women, we have enough to deal with. When we are distracted by how uncomfortable we are not changing the world. And I want us to not worry about what we're wearing, but I want us to have time to concentrate on changing the world. All right? See, there you go. Leah Quake is saying, it takes me too long to decide what to wear in the morning before work. It's probably because you have too many choices. I have found, and you'll notice this in my TikTok lives, it is a rarity. Like, I am always wearing, and I started this years ago, a black t-shirt. A black t-shirt and a hoodie. A long sleeve t-shirt when it's dark, when it's cold out. And, like, the fact that I'm even wearing a t-shirt that has some, like, writing on it is a rarity. But keeping it simple. You have the things you wear to work. This is what I wear. This is what I do. Make it kind of a uniform. Make it easy for you. There we go. Yeah. Have the future you thank old you. Yeah. I love the Kondo method of does it spark joy. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is for me and the way I live and the way I coach, if I am spending too long of time making my drawers look perfect in case the Pinterest police are coming out, that's time I'm not spending doing something I want. Now, the great thing is, if that lights you up and that's how you want to spend your time, by all means, you do you. I'm just letting you know how I am, and I love saving time for people so they can go out and change the world. They can live a life they want to live and not spend all the day fussing over how their stuff is folded or not. Now, interesting. Coffee Lover is saying, and I know I'm mispronouncing everybody's names, cut me some slack. I end up wearing the same clothes because I don't want to go into my disorganized closet. So notice, you guys, just notice. You have already made a very low level but very powerful decision that you are living without wearing any of the clothes in that closet. You are surviving on this planet, not naked, not exposed to the elements, with the clothing you have. You have enough clothing to wear every day that you don't even need to go in your closet. Talk about an abundance of clothing. Now, here's the interesting thing to me about clutter. Clutter is stuff, but clutter is a level of stuff that's just too much. Notice how people say, I feel like I'm drowning in my stuff. I have too much. Too much is more than just enough. Just right. Goldilocks, just right. Not lack, not like I'm naked, and then you have just enough that you're using every day. This is the level of stuff. But then your clutter is the stuff that just gets in the way. It's too much, and it's not the stuff you wear. It's not the stuff that makes you feel good. It just sits there until you make a decision to do something about it. And the decision The more decisions you make, the stronger your decision-making muscle gets, and the easier it is to say, what is this piece of clothing? Do I wear it? If I don't wear it, why don't I wear it? If I don't wear it and I don't want it, where does it go? It can be as simple as that. Barbara is saying, how do I get over being concerned about throwing away things because they will go into a landfill? Okay, everybody, I hate to bust it to you, everything at some point in our planet is going into a freaking landfill. It's just a matter of time. So what I want to say is, Barbara, you have a certain amount of hours left on the planet. How do you want to spend them? Do you want to spend them surrounded by stuff that you're afraid to go in the dumpster and afraid to go in? Now, when I say this, don't worry, I'm not saying throw your stuff in the trash right now. But there is a life cycle to your clothing, that at some point those clothings will end up in, fulfilled their life. The sooner you do things, the better for you. You can hang on to clothes and be like, oh no, I'm going to save the planet. I hate to say this, but it's so true. In the amount of time that you and I have been, I've only been on for a half hour. If we haven't met before, hey, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, but just remember, Destination Decluttered. Follow me here on TikTok, yada, yada. Sign up for the mailing list, get coaching from me, all that stuff. In the amount of time it took you and me to just chat about this right now, there is a giant stinky corporation spewing garbage into the world that has effed up the planet more than you and your couple of pairs of clothes will ever do it. Now, I don't mean to say that, and so everybody says, F it, I'm throwing everything into the trash, but notice that you are using the excuse of, I don't want to put it into landfill, as a procrastination method to not declutter. Just notice that, okay? Yeah, there you go. Even if you're concerned about a landfill, I think there's a company, ThreadUp, they send you a bag, and you ship out whatever they don't sell, and they say they recycle. Yeah, I'm going to write that one down. I'll look it up. ThreadUp. Maybe I'll try it out myself and see how it goes. But everything is in the ocean. Everything anyway is for real. Yeah, it is. All right. Don't forget about all the clothes we sent to Africa. They are overflowing, and I call it, dead man's clothing. Yes, it's because we live right here, especially in the U.S., but kind of in the world, this disposable society. It's like more is more. Like, oh, that's out of fashion. Don't wear that. I like to wear the same thing over and over again. And it's just so much simpler. So, yeah. All right. Like 10 pairs of shorts, 5 sweaters, 2 zips, 3 pairs of jeans, etc. How many pairs of pants is enough? How about 1? The pair of pants that you wear to keep you from being naked to clothed is 1. Because it's the one you're putting on. How about 2? How about 2 pairs of pants? That means that when you're wearing one, you can wash the other, and then it's clean, and then when the other ones get dirty, you put on the clean ones, and then when you put on the clean ones, the dirty ones go in the washing machine. To me, it's arbitrary. It's arbitrary. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I got into this jam of finding this style of yoga pant that I really liked, so I bought multiples because I was wearing them often. Now I feel like I have too many of them. I don't need as many of them, but notice what feels right to you. Notice that. Peggy, you can see my closet. I'm like, it's right there. See that right there? That's my closet. It's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm afraid to show you. It's just, well, here, you know what? I don't know. Sometimes when I move my camera, let me see if I can do this. I don't even know what it looks like in here, but I'm okay with, so I've got clothing here that I may wear again, so it's hanging on the back. It's not dirty. It's kind of dirty, but not dirty enough to put in the wash, so I'm going to wear it again. And then what do we have here? Yeah, you've seen it in some videos. There it is. There's my closet. I've got some space. I've got some stuff hanging. I've got these 2 boxes have, what do you call them? Cardigan sweaters in them. I used to wear them a wicked lot when I was at work, and now I don't. I would point down to 2 totes that would have my seasonal clothing in them. But now that we're in kind of between seasons, they're over there waiting for me. Like literally there's a pile of my summer clothes that I know I'm not going to wear again. I see some bathing suits. I see like some light cotton pajamas that I just know that next week when it gets cold, I'm not going to do. But I'm in a transition period, as we all are. But I have... Here's the thing. It makes it easy for me to deal with a certain manageable amount of clothing. When you feel like you have too much, when the amount of clothing is making it difficult for you to get dressed in the morning, when it's difficult to do laundry, except if it's a big thing, then you might have too much. Do you think my plan of numbering clothing needs is too excessive? Here's what I want to offer. You do you. If you think, here's the beauty of it, you guys. Literally, if you think something is going to work, you will do it and then it will work. If you don't think it's going to work, then you won't do it and it won't work. So you experiment with it. If that sounds like it's going to work for you, experiment. See if it works for you. See, that's the thing I love about doing my decluttering coaching one-on-one, is we focus just on you and how your brain works and what your specific situation is. What I want you to do is get curious. What is going to work for your brain, how your brain functions to get you the results you want, your destination, so that you're getting dressed easy, you love your clothing, you feel good about it, you don't have to worry about it, and you can just concentrate on other stuff besides your clothes. So the number, to me, like when Peggy is asking how many pairs of pants is just enough, only you can answer that. But I would say this: the ones that when you wear them, you have another pair you put on, and that when you go to put away your pants, it's easy for you to put them away, and when you want to find them, it's easy for you to find them. You know, sometimes I think that we make up rules to say, well, I can only have 10 shirts. We make up rules to then distract us from just doing it. Okay? Woo! A whole bunch of things here. Bathing suits. Who wear to take nearly new bathing suits? My weakness is bathing suits, not purses. Okay, I'll offer this. I've seen them at, what do you call them? Thrift stores. People who don't have any bathing suits would love to get a bathing suit, even if it's not worn. If it's something you've never worn and it still has the tags on it, you might bring it to a consignment store. But there are people there are people in the world that don't have clothes. And here's the funny thing. If you think about it, if we all just slowed our roll, if we all just started wearing exactly what we own and never bought another piece of clothing, things would back up, but things would change. They would probably start creating fewer pieces of clothing. If we started feeling comfortable in the fact that we weren't worried about, oh my God, if you're Gen X or Gen Z, like this is out of style, you're going to look unstylish. You know, it's like if we stopped worrying about that stuff, things would change. You know, okay, I have a Goodwill addiction, like a deal addiction. It's sick. Yes, notice that. Here's the funny thing. I used to thrift all the time. All the time. I was psyched about when we moved to this town 18 years ago because they had multiple thrift stores, because that was my jam. Then I realized it didn't do it for me anymore. Instead of lighting me up, it was dragging me down. Now I love donating to thrift stores, and I used to donate and then go, like I used to say I was giving an offering to the gods by donating and then walking around the front and then filling up stuff. But I realized how much better my house and life feels when it has less stuff in it. And so I don't even go anymore because I am happy with what I have. I have that just right amount. The amount of stuff that makes me feel good, that I love feeling satisfied and happy with what I have, and I don't feel like I need to add anything more to it. Should I hang my pants or fold them? Whatever's easier for you. Whatever is easier for you. This is where there are so many different ways to do things. What I would like to say for you, Anastasia, is, or anybody, find some system that works for you that takes the shortest amount of time for you to get the result you want. So if it means hanging them because you don't want a wrinkle, then maybe you hang them. If it doesn't matter if they're wrinkled, maybe you fold them and put them in a drawer. But what I want you to do is notice how much time it takes to do the thing and say, is this time worth it to me? Okay. Cat24K says, I don't start decluttering because of how long it takes, but I know I have to. How long does it take? It can take 5 minutes, and then it can take another 5 minutes, and then it can take another 5 minutes. This is what I like to say when I'm coaching. It's like you have a thought in your head that makes you feel a feeling. When you feel a feeling, you do a thing. Head, heart, hand. I'm all about 3. 3 is a magic number. I'm also about alliterations. Destination decluttered, head, heart, hand, surface stored sentimental. Notice that. Notice the thoughts you have in your head that are stopping you from living a life you want, from living a decluttered life. And I am pointing over here because I think of everything like a road trip. We are here today. You are in your car. You are the driver. Your destination. Your decluttered closet and bureau are right over there. The only thing that's in the way are thoughts and clothes. If you pay attention to your thoughts that are stopping you, you can listen to them, you can lovingly question them, you can disarm them, and then you can be more likely to say, it's okay if I get that go. I have enough. You know? I used to like to go to thrift stores, feel like I force myself to go now. I feel the same way. And see, we all change for decades. I mean, I thrifted growing up with, like, my mother, like, we did it. My sister still does it. I drove past a thrift store the other day. I had no inclination to go in. If anything, I was like, no, you know what? I don't want, that's not how I want to spend my time or money or energy. Okay, Julie Rose, nice to see you. Donate some and keep important memories. Okay, my problem is, get curious when you start a sentence with that. I saw how much things meant to my mom, which makes me feel bad discarding. Okay, joyfully me. Notice this. This is not about, notice how your thoughts are not about you. Notice how you are telling yourself something that you're feeling bad. I feel bad discarding this thing because this meant a lot to my mother. It's okay. This is when items, clothing and otherwise, get into the sentimental category. Sentimental items, it's not surface stored, it's sentimental items. Sentimental items are the items that you have that tell you a story of somebody else. My mom really liked this. Do you like it though? The answer can be no. The answer can be no, and that's okay. Because this is your life, it's not hers. Your mom had joy with her stuff. That doesn't mean you have to have joy with her stuff. You should have joy with your stuff, whatever it is, the quantity and quality of items in your life. Your mom's not going to bust you on that. If she's around, she shouldn't, and if she's above, you know she's like, hun, I just want you to be happy. And if my random stuff that I loved is making you bummed out, get rid of it so you're happy. Okay? Notice that. Notice that. What do I do with my grandmother's stuff that's in a box? You open it up. You feel the feelings because you're a human. And then you decide what's something that's going to make me feel better about this situation. Is it keeping all this stuff in a box and visiting it occasionally and feeling a good feeling? Is it distributing some of her stuff to other people in the family? Is it saying I'm going to distribute it far and wide to maybe people who I don't even know, but the stuff that she had is going to bring strangers joy and I can feel like a fairy godmother by distributing her stuff? You decide how you want to feel and then do the things that are going to make you feel that way. Notice that, okay? Oops, 7 new messages, okay. Yeah, Alexis Josh says, I used to love Saturday mornings, yard sales, not so much anymore. I'm the same way. Allow yourself to change. It's okay if you liked a certain thing at a certain time. Think about the fact that when you were like 2 or 3 or 1, you probably loved like some sort of Gerber baby food. Are you eating that now? No, because you changed. You evolved. Allow yourself to evolve into the delightful human being that you are right now. Okay? Now, Katie, I feel bad because you said my husband passed away 2 years ago. Boxed up his clothes, but can't get them out the door. There's no timeline for this. Anybody. There's no timeline. You do you. And do it at a time that feels right to you. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. Do it when it feels right to you. And there will be a time where it may feel better for you to release some of those things. When you can say, somebody else might benefit from these clothes that are just sitting here in a box. Okay? Just notice that. Decluttering sometimes can be emotional. Hell yeah. Why do you think people avoid it? It's either boring or it's emotional. Those are the things. This is going to be really boring. Or this is going to be so emotional I don't want to feel emotions. It is totally, there's a huge emotional and, what's the word I want to use? I don't know. I guess emotional is about as good as I'm going to come up with right now, but there is an emotional component to this, no lie. Because you're looking at evidence of what you used to be. You're saying, who am I now and who do I want to be? You're seeing stuff that's from somebody else's age and you're saying, they're not here anymore. You're saying, oh my gosh, even my kids have grown and my mother has died. And my friends, I used to do this. There's a whole emotional feeling component about this. But that's okay. You're not a robot. You're a human. Getting used to feeling feelings, sitting there with your feelings that last about a minute and a half, and then moving on after that is a wonderful habit to get into. Okay? Notice that. Aww. I'm crying because you're right. Mom said, yeah, Bri died to get rid of things. Yeah, you know what? Things are just things. You bought them at Target. You got it at a yard sale. The important stuff is you and your humanity and how you feel on this planet. Because when you feel better, when you feel lighter and freer, you are going to do better. You are going to change the world when you're not weighed down with just this random stuff. Okay? Dream Girl, you say, can you do a couple videos or address it a bit more in depth of how to deal with it? So I do have a bunch of videos about sentimental clutter. That might help you. But what I want to offer, even just as kind of like the 45 RPM version of it. So on the one side is, just because you loved a person, these are like two songs. I should have my husband write them. Just because you loved a person doesn't mean you need to love their stuff. And on the flip side is, just because you don't love somebody's stuff doesn't mean you didn't love the person. How about that? Toss that around in your brain. See how that comes up. Okay, Karen is asking about, I have too many books, but I'm having a hard time letting them go. Tips, yes, Karen. Everybody. Anything you are struggling to let go of, books, clothing, otherwise, use this process. What thought in my head is making me feel like I'm having a hard time getting rid of these books? When I go to about to give away some of these books, what's the unbidden backseat driver thought that pops up? Listen to that, acknowledge it, write it down if you need to, and then say, is that really true? If I believe that, then I'm going to hang on to these books, but I know part of me knows I have too many. My gut is saying I want to get rid of these, but then my brain is getting in the way and saying, no, don't do that, hang on to it. Start to trust your gut when it's okay to let go stuff, okay? Is it better to do it all at once or do it in parts? The feeling lasts more than a minute and a half. Okay. Anything that you do in small increments, just to get yourself used to showing up. It's better to say, I can show up for 10 minutes, I can show up for 5 minutes and do things, but then you say, do I want to show up for another 5? You don't always have to make those decisions, but to just get you started, because once you're doing it, okay? Allow your feelings to last as long as they last. They will be over. It's like a rainstorm. Cry your eyes out. Wail, beat a pillow, laugh, throw up, whatever it is, get it out of you. Your body is giving you signals that it wants to release whatever you're holding back. It may feel exhausting on the other side when it stops, but I guarantee you it's going to feel better because you have kind of processed that emotion. Okay? Listen to this. Years ago, my mother was throwing away a lot of stuff, and I was shocked. Now I know why. Very helpful. I'm purging vintage and antiques of past family members. Yeah. Okay. Notice this. Yeah. The thought in my head is laziness. Notice that laziness is a really judgy word. I don't judge you. You just have yet to find the motivation. Why am I even doing this? I don't feel like it because I want to do something else. Here's the deal. Destination decluttered. Destination. What's your destination? Why are you doing this? Because you want your home and life to look and feel and function in a way that brings you joy. Now, when you don't do it that way, then you're like, why am I even doing this? This is a pain in the butt. I'd rather sit there and scroll on TikTok. Okay. Now, a couple of things I want to offer before, because I'm realizing how quickly this hour has gone. So if you haven't met me before, I'm talking for a while. I've yet to reintroduce myself. My name is Beth, but I would so much rather you remember destination decluttered. What does that mean? It means your life is a road trip. You're the driver. Where do you want to go? You want to head towards a life that you love. How do you get there? By doing little bits at a time that are getting rid of the stuff you don't want. Now, if you like what I'm doing and you want more and you want to know when I show up on TikTok Live and you want to be invited to a free Zoom call that I do monthly and get a whole bunch of other cool stuff, but not too much. I don't overwhelm you. I don't clutter you up, but I do good stuff. People on the list will testify. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. On the website, you'll do a couple of things. You can find out how to sign up for my mailing list. It's wicked easy. There's a form on the join page. Also, if you just scroll all the way to the bottom of the homepage, there is a simple form. All you need to do is put in your email address, promise that you're not a robot, and hit send, and you will immediately get a welcome email. It's going to have a, what do you call it? Habit tracker, a free habit tracker that this is mine. I'm using it, people. I don't just, I'm just not a client who my size Sperling of Hair Club for Men. I'm also Gen X, so I talk in pop culture non sequiturs. But if you want to get on my mailing list, that's the other thing too, is destinationdecluttered.com/join mailing list. Mailing list people just get first dibs on everything. They get first dibs. I let them know when I'm going to be on TikTok Live. I let the people on the mailing list know when my consultation calendar is open. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I do one-on-one coaching. I do one-on-one coaching on Zoom, so you can live anywhere. And I say that while I'm looking up at my map of the U.S. right here and all these little smiley faces every time I have a new client. And if you're interested in that, if you think having me in your life for a solid hour, one-on-one on Zoom, doing nothing but focusing on you and helping you create solutions and having you, teaching you tools and methods and systems and helping you in problem solving and creating plans and accountability and all that good stuff in the way that I've just shown up for the past hour or so, if you think that would help you get to your destination, sign up for a consultation. My coaching is a paid coaching. Everything else I do is free, but it's affordable. I've heard people say that it's a bargain. I mean, everybody has their own thoughts and feelings about money. I feel really good about what I do and what I charge, because what I teach you doesn't just last for 10 weeks. So you can't do the math and say X divided by X equals this much. You would have to divide it by the amount of days you have left on the planet, because I teach you a way of thinking about stuff differently, feeling differently, and then doing stuff differently to change your habits, of thinking, to change your habits of doing in a way that gets you to that destination you want. That's why I love what I'm doing. And that's why I love to help you. So if that sounds interesting to you, destinationdecluttered.com/join. The other thing is too, what else can I tell you? I get 14 more messages. Let me do. Oh yes, thank you. Actually, Shelly Smith, thank you very much for saying I'm on YouTube. If you have only just tuned in right now, maybe this is the first time you've ever seen me, or catch in the middle of my TikTok Live. All of the TikTok Lives that I do, I download from TikTok and then I upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. I do that so in case you missed something or you want to walk around, a lot of people say that, like right now, Shelly just says, love the videos. Beth, I watched them when you were on, that you watched my videos when I was on vacation. I do travel. I go what I call off the digital grid. When I'm not traveling, I show up like nobody's business, but I also take time for myself. This is the way I am constructing a destination of a life that I love. However, I don't leave you empty-handed. There are a ton of recorded TikTok Lives that will keep you company when you are decluttering. When I do TikTok Lives, many people say, as soon as I hear you, I start getting up and I declutter. And even for just an hour and a half an hour, my home is going to look different and it's going to incrementally look better. I love this. I don't want my kids to have overwhelming stuff to go through. I want it easier for them. Make it easier for them by making it easier on you right now. There we go. And I just want to offer, you are worth it. I love it. I need you as a life coach. Need to get to Palm Springs. I need to get to Palm Springs myself. Actually, the cool thing is I'm making a plan to go to Palm Springs. Now, I admit, I'm always talking about the road trip, but the way we want to go when the weather is cold and we want to get there, so we're going to fly. But man, maybe I'll do some coaching from Palm Springs. That might be kind of fun. We'll see. But notice that there's help out there for what you're struggling with. And please notice that you are worth it. If your life is cluttered, if your home is cluttered and it's not making you feel good, yes, you deserve to feel better. You deserve to live in a home, in a life that makes you feel good, that functions easily, where you have time to do the stuff you have to do, and I use it in kind of the air quotes because all of that is up for debate, but also making the space in your life, in your schedule, in your head. This is crazy. I don't know if anybody just knows, anybody from my other alter life about, what do you call it? Retro roadmap. Charles Phoenix just called me. I just had to deny a call from Charles Phoenix because I'm doing a TikTok Live here. So crazy. And also I think the mailman just came, or maybe that was my husband. Anyhow, notice how I'm getting distracted. What I want to offer to you, though, is seriously, think about it. When you get off of this call right now, just say, how do I want my home to look? How do I want my home to feel? How do I want to feel when I'm in my home? I want to feel lighter. I want to feel less stressed. I want to feel peace of mind. Those are many things that people have said before, myself included. And how do I want it to function? I want it to function easily. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I find the thing, I use it, I put it away. Boom, I'm done. I go do something else. Okay? Notice that. And I'm going to sign off momentarily, but I will tell you this. Again, I'm going to give another plug for the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, because I'm telling you, I feel like Little Edie, I'm telling you that that's where the good stuff is. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. It's all free. The only thing you would, ever pay for is coaching from me, and man, is that worth it. The other thing too is if I've decided for the month of October that until it becomes boring to me, I will do more of these kind of themed decluttering videos, because folks have asked for it, and I listen to the people who follow me, and I say, oh, how can I make this better for you? And so, like, the other day was kitchen. Then I did paper. Today is clothes. I'm going to cross that out. Tomorrow I decided, because it's Friday, and then we get the weekend. Now I'm going away for the weekend, because this is what I do. But tomorrow is going to be all about decluttering the garage. Now here's an interesting thing. Let me just share this with you before I sign off. Is even if you don't have a garage, show up, because if you notice, I love seeing the patterns behind things and the framework behind things. The system we use to declutter your garage is the same system we use to declutter your clothes. It's the same system we use to declutter your paper. It's the same system we use to declutter your kitchen. When you start to see, like, oh, that's like just the same thing copy and pasted. Okay? So just notice that. And my spare room is my garage. Notice that I have a carport. I'm still going to show up. Awesome. Yeah. What time tomorrow? Thank you for asking that. I've got it written down, and I see a couple people on the mailing list. Thank you so much. Tomorrow. Okay, this was today. Tomorrow is 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm on the Eastern Seaboard. Well, technically, I'm not on the Seaboard. I would like to be on the Seaboard, but I'm in Pennsylvania, so 10 o'clock Eastern. You do the math for wherever you live. And also, if you missed that from me, you can always find that out either by being on my mailing list, or I do a video where I pin it to the top of my TikTok page, and it says, TikTok live schedule for the week. So if you forgot that, don't worry. I will also, before next week, upload the one for next week as well. Okay, there you go. I remember, if you can't make it, no worries. It will be downloaded from downloaded from TikTok and uploaded to the Destination Decluttered YouTube page. I guess the final thing too, and I need to hop off because I have a day of coaching and consultations, is if you enjoy what you heard, if you like the way I presented it, please follow my TikTok page. I like seeing the numbers grow, because it means that I'm helping some stuff. I'm helping people. The other thing too is, if you know people who are cluttered and are struggling, let them know that there is help out there. It may be me, it may be somebody else, but there is help out there. And then again, just remember Destination Decluttered, because you are on a road trip called life, and you deserve to be driving towards a destination you're excited about, okay? This has been very fun. Nice to meet some new people. Always nice to see some familiar names. I'm glad I really helped you, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye.